Blessed afternoon, collective. My voice is jacked up. So here's the deal. I wasn't gonna pull a reading because it hurts to talk. I'm either still sick with COVID or, well, I am still recovering from that. This is either a rebound of some symptoms, or I've developed a different infection as a result of lowered immunity after having COVID. It's whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. I'm tired. My throat hurts. But this wants to come out. So I'm going to pull a 3 card. I'm just going to read the energy in advance a little bit. This is the energy that's here. Somebody, something wants to run. This is in the collective. It is in the masculine energy, whether or not it's specifically a part of the soulmate cycle or just generally masculine. I don't know. I don't care. What I'm receiving is the impulse to run, the urge to run, the flight part of fight or flight. It's kicking in big time. Big time. I'm sorry I can't speak any louder than this. This is physically painful for me, but this needs to come out. The impulse to run, to literally just turn tail and take off in a direction, to get in a car, to start driving quickly away. That's what I'm getting. But you know what? Running never feels good. It never feels as good as you think that it is. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't fix anything. And ultimately, it's really disempowering. It doesn't feel good. The only way to feel some semblance of good is to turn and face whatever it is you're running from. To accept it. To stop denying it, because that's what running is. It's a denial. It's a rejection. It's resistance. And resistance is always suffering. Always suffering. The only way to release that suffering, you can't escape whatever situation you think it is that you're trying to escape because you think it's causing the suffering. It's not. It's the rejection of it. It's the running from it. The only way to relieve that pain is to turn and face it head on. Face it in full. Let it sink its teeth into you. That's it. That's the only way peace is found. That's the only way power is reclaimed, through the surrender. So, this is what masculine energy is experiencing. And now I'm just going to pull a couple of cards and see if there's anything else we got going on, but this is the general situation. At the bottom is disappointment and feeling very small. Feeling very small. Feeling incapable of handling something, of facing something, and so running from it, and simultaneously feeling disappointed in our turning and running, because we know that doesn't change anything. We have the choice, why the cards wanted to split on the Queen of Cups. We have the choice to run from feeling or to feel it, to allow it to be felt. We think it's the feelings that are scary. We think feeling them will hurt. They don't hurt as much as this. I'm telling you, there's more disappointment here than just this little page. Yeah, fear. directly underneath. What really sucks, what really hurts, is letting the fear control us, because it's fear that makes you turn and hightail it out of there. That's exactly what it is. It's the fight or flight response. We're following fear instead of facing the emotion, and that hurts. That doesn't feel good. This is a chance to do something different. This is a chance to make a change, to transmute this emotional energy. The deck is splitting all over the place. There we have the Emperor. This is a chance to actually legitimately take control by releasing it. You see? That surrender, that vulnerability is the true power. That is what is within your control. What is within our control is to stop trying to fight, stop trying to resist, stop trying to run, any of those things. Flight is just another version of fight. Honestly. What we want, what feels good, is surrender, is choosing neither. Is choosing consciously to turn and face, not to run, and not to ball up the fists against it either. To stand there and let it happen, to take it, to accept it, to let it burn, to let this change take place. We keep putting it out, yeah, and it's heavy. This is guilt. This is more of that guilt. That disappointment. We keep trying to run, and every time we turn, it's right there in front of us. Whatever it is we're trying to run from, because we're trying to run from it, we're tethered. Again, it's the same thing. It's like a Chinese finger trap. It doesn't matter if you think you're fleeing from it. What you're doing is resisting. You are fighting it. When you're fighting it, it's actually clinging to you. When you're trying to control it, to get it away, you're ensuring that it has a tighter grip on you. The only way out there, look, I'm not making this up. 10 swords, 10 wands. This is fucking heavy. It's guilt, it's shame, it's pain. I'm telling you, it's much bigger than this little page here. The only way out is to face it, is to let it happen, is to turn. And again, let it sink its teeth into you. I'm thinking of the Strength card. Especially the Strength card in the Guardian deck, which has that mouse facing a snake. It knows its prey. It knows its instinctive responses to run. But it chooses consciously. It makes a decision that it doesn't feel good to run. It's gonna turn and face what's coming after it. If that means facing death, that's exactly what it is. It is staring death in the face. It's at least, I just saw the devil, it's at least gonna die with dignity, with honor. It's gonna die unafraid, not scrambling. I just dropped the tower and it disappeared between the seats. Motherfucker. Alright, hang on. Overall energy. It's the soulmate connection. Shit, where did that go? Oh, give me a minute. There it is. There she is. Can't get away from it. Can't get away from it. This is falling. They're trying to run. It's not working. That's in addition. That's in addition to this. I mean, it's all backfiring. It's all backfiring. The more we try to get away from it, the more we try to think ourselves out of it, the tighter that grip becomes. The sun. It's all clear. It's painfully clear. There is pain here. This feels like my throat right now. It's inflamed. I'm drawn to this red. It's like a sore. It's painfully clear that there is no escaping this. Oh, I got 2 cards. Yep. Come on, I'm not making this shit up. 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. We cannot distract ourselves from it. We can't push it out. Every time we do, we ensnare ourselves further. We're just, it is like a fly trying to escape. The more we wriggle, the more we pull, the tighter those binds become. We could just make a different choice. We could just let go. We could give up. We could surrender to this. Ego will tell you the opposite. Ego will tell you to fight. But the fighting is just creating suffering. This is not something we can escape. Ultimately, if there is a chance, because it's not about just giving up the will to live. If we're talking about the fly stuck here, it's about accepting the situation as it is. It is about accepting what is. And then, only then, when you are in the state of acceptance, can things play out easily for you. Whether that acceptance, that release of resistance, means the release of your physical form and the release of all resistance, you are at least experiencing peace in that process. And it's okay. It's okay for the ego to feel its own feelings about that. But if you have come to terms with it, if you are accepting and allowing, then you are at peace in that passing, right? You are facing it with dignity, with calm. And then there is no suffering, even in the destruction of form. That's a very extreme example. But it still applies. Something is changing. There's a dramatic shift taking place. We can fight it and make it miserable for ourselves. We cannot outrun it. We cannot stop it. We can make it miserable, or we can accept it and allow it to be. And so have peace, at least, with whatever is occurring around us. I don't know how I feel about this. There is... I mean, there is great clarity occurring. There is painful truth coming to the surface here. I can't get away from his eyes. It's just a further feeling of pain. This just feels like it's reinforcing the sun. And I mean, it's bookending the sun. It's red with the sun. It's painful. It's piercing. There's argumentation, for sure. It is becoming abundantly clear that we don't have a choice. We can choose to fight what is, or we can choose to accept it. There's a flock of geese flying overhead. Wow. That's a lot. That's like 2 full 3 full flocks. And the geese, of course, are on the lovers in the little animal deck, which is also known as the choice. The choice that is made for us. Look at that. There he is. There is a choice that has been made. It's already been made energetically. It's becoming abundantly more and more clear. We cannot escape this. Just the same way that I can't escape what's happening in my body right now. This whole experience with being very sick has been transformative and really beneficial to me. And I'm really grateful for it because it has been an incredible opportunity to surrender, to examine some things within myself, to really be still. I mean, absolutely still, silent, motionless, and alone. And really face some stuff rising up in that moment. That's what needs to happen here. They're not facing it. Look at that, Ace of Wands comes back too. King of Cups, Nine of Cups. That. I was looking for it. We're running out of time. We're out of time. It's very clear that what we have put the pause on is our own happiness. What we have put the pause on, put on the back burner, is that which we really want. It's causing burnout. It's causing immense pain, immense suffering. And then instead of, it's all there to show us, hey, pay attention to this. Hey, stop putting this aside. Stop looking away from this. Deal with this. That hurts so much. Instead, we're pushing it away more. It's not working. It's gonna backfire. It is backfiring. It is backfiring. This is the kind of energy that creates something like, I don't want to say catastrophic, but an event that you can't turn away from. I had been going too hard for too long. I had been doing too much, and I knew I was burning out, but I didn't stop. I just kept going. Then the universe said, it's time to stop. So I got sick, giving me no choice but to stop. Time is up. We're running out of room here. The water is rising. What is it showing us? It's showing us that we're not happy. It's, again, what we've been putting off. Again, what are we really working towards? Are we really working towards authentic happiness? Or are we distracting ourselves from being unhappy? Queen of Swords. There's definitely arguments taking place. Long-held secrets. Stuff that happened 5-6 years ago. It's coming up. It's coming out. Why is the Queen of Swords here? Yeah, stuff that we've had buried. Truths from deep within. The soul is just airing it all out because the soul wants that truth to flow. It wants truth to come out. When we repress truth, it's not intended to be weaponized, the truth. But when we repress it, when we don't express truths or emotion, they fester. They fester, they become toxic, and the pressure builds. It builds and builds and builds. And then they explode out. Then we have the lash out, the explosion, the bursting forth. Whereas if we had just followed the energy, in the moment that it happened. It wouldn't have built to this point if we had just expressed the self freely. If we were just honest and vulnerable, we wouldn't be having the tower moment where things are falling apart and it all just explodes. It melts through the barrier and rips out of us. It's all for the purpose of bringing things to balance. Energy balances, karmic debts are paid, no matter what. Oh my god. I just had another tower flip out. What did I fucking say? Yeah. And I'm pulling on the Two of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles, big time distraction, which itself is essentially red with this tower I had placed on top of it. I mean, yeah, it's double towers. It's fucking double towers. What happens when you try to run from this? You get spanked. It feels terrible. Because what we're running from, there's that King of Cups again. And some more geese. What we're running from is the fact that our cup is not full. It's empty. It's been stuck. This energy has been stuck for quite some time. There is emotion, there is something, there are two truths here, very clearly. One is the bullshit version of this, the empty version of these cups. The one which is not giving and receiving mutually, which is not benefiting us in a way that feels good. Yeah, there fucking is. I knew it was there. There are two very clear truths. There's the truth of what we don't want, and there's the truth of what we do. And because of contrast, we have clarity. Because of knowing what we don't want, and we know we don't want it because it hurts, we know what we do. Always works that way. Contrast is always beneficial for the clarity it provides. It clarifies our desire. It helps us know what we want and why. And we cannot look away from it. We can't look away. When we don't let ourselves take the bounce of that contrast, that's when things get wonky. That contrast is there to guide us. Oh, don't like this. Walk away from it. Walk towards this. Yeah, that makes sense. It totally makes sense. What we are denying is not just the truth. It's not just logic. We're pushing out the angel. We're pushing out the angelic energy, the energy that is here, the very thing that is here to help us. See, angelic energy, high vibrational energy, like truth energy, it's not there to coddle you. It's not there to feed you bullshit. It is not rainbows and unicorns. Angelic energy of the truth can be harsh. It reveals with great clarity what it is. It shines on the devil energy and exposes it as exactly that, toxic. And a lot of times we don't like to see that. And angel energy does not care. It does not care. It's there to help you. It's there to show you. This ain't it. This ain't serving you. It doesn't feel good. It's gonna give you more clarity by making it feel worse. Essentially, because it's trying to push you to make a move. We've been fighting the angel energy because it's harder. Devil energy, Steve's Love Tarot says a lot, and I appreciate the way he puts it. It's like junk food. It's easy to swallow down, it tastes good, and it's empty calories. It does nothing for you. And it's addictive. It's like, the potato chips. You just keep eating them. That's what devil energy is like. Angel energy is, first of all, that stomach ache that you get after eating a ton of candy or chips or whatever. And then it is the vegetable tray that presents itself to you and says, time for this, time for something else. And we know it's the best thing. It's the right thing for ourselves to do. But ego gets all wrapped up in it, because then it means, to ego, from ego's perspective, then it means it was wrong. It's doing something wrong, and it's created this identity from a mental position. And then if you challenge that position, even if it's for the benefit of your being, ego retaliates. It puffs up real big. It does not want to be criticized. It doesn't want to be shown the light. Because again, it takes it as personal offense. It takes it as a personal threat to its survival. That's what it does. That's when you just notice ego acting up, and you make a conscious choice. You cease the identification of yourself with ego, because ego is not you. And then when you have pulled back from ego, you're free to make a truly clear, conscious decision that is not based on inflated ego mechanisms. It's not based on pride or retaliation for hurt, defensiveness, any of those things. You can make a truly conscious, aware decision and take action towards what it is that benefits you. We can't escape this truth. It's all encompassing. We can try to fight this flow. It's not gonna work. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna spank us more and more. It's a little bit like having a cavity and continuing to eat chocolate. It's gonna hurt worse and worse and worse. And you can try to numb the pain. It's not gonna work. It's time to get that cavity looked at. It's time to stop eating so much chocolate. What's on top? Nine of Cups just comes back. It's time to face the music. What is it that really makes us feel joy? What is it that really inspires us, that lights us up inside? What is it that really evokes happiness? Are we moving towards it or away from it? Ace of Pentacles. It's kind of stopped here. It is kind of a just stop and look. Again, the more you try to run from something, the closer it gets to you. A lot of masculine energy has been running from happiness, running from that which actually genuinely inspires strong emotion within it. Because if something really calls to you, then you have strong emotion about it. And it works both ways. It does. That's a part of this game. That's a part of the deal. You really feel for something when that thing potentially isn't there, or goes a different way, or leaves you, or whatever it is. You're gonna feel some strong emotion about that too. But all of that is beautiful. All of that is important and is a part of life. It's a part of playing this game of polarity. What you don't want to do is let yourself get trapped in it. And you're so afraid of feeling pain that you don't let yourself feel happiness. You're so afraid of losing this thing and the potential of that pain that you don't even go towards it and experience the potential of the joy. The true mastery is embracing all of it, embracing both sides, rejecting neither side, realizing that you can have satisfaction in the pleasing circumstance and you can have satisfaction in the painful circumstance. You can, by your perspective, recognize that pain means something was meaningful to you. And you can hold that in deep appreciation while you are feeling the pain, and then you are enjoying even the pain. You transcend it, you transmute it, you haven't changed it, but your experience of it is changed. And you become empowered, you show yourself your own power by your capacity and willingness to feel intensely. That is so delicious. That is so satisfying. That is so empowering. To embrace the whole spectrum of your emotions, to feel intensely and quickly everything from extreme joy to extreme grief, to open yourself to that, then you are in your power. You're not trying to control the emotions, you're letting them be as they are. You are surrendered to the flow of them. That feels good. That's where true joy and peace and your knowing of your freedom and your well-being arises from. When we're fighting pain, we're fighting pleasure at the same time. Alright, anything else here? Before I go make myself a little more tea. Anything else you want to say, Spirit? Other than embrace it all. Embrace it all. It's a fair amount of shuffling today. Just what it is. 4 Cups, was feeling that. 9 of Wands, yeah. There's the fear of rejection. There is a fear of rejection, and so we put up a wall against it. But we really want something. We want to make this work. There it is. Yeah, fear of rejection, created by ego. That's how this works. That's why this masculine energy is struggling so much. Ego is always fear-based. This is a fear of rejection. It's a fear of, I don't want to admit how happy this thing makes me. I don't want to even try to experience the potential of that happiness, because I know if that happiness went away, if that thing that I feel making me so happy, because that's my perception, if that went away, or if I got rejected, it would crush my fragile ego. It would be so much pain, and I don't believe that I'm capable of handling that pain. And so I reject it. I reject all of it outright, and I don't even give myself the chance to feel this pleasure because I'm so afraid of the potential for pain. And I let fear rule, and there's the disappointment. There it is. And so it loops back around on itself again, and then I feel disappointed for listening to ego, for listening to fear, for not even trying, for letting my fear of rejection hold me back from even seeing what could be, what has such potential to be amazing, to be fulfilling, deeply fulfilling, wish fulfillment, soul fulfillment. But I'm so afraid of it falling apart, of it not working, that I don't even try. And then that hurts again. And then I feel the crushing disappointment in myself of that, and it starts all over. This has to get to a fever pitch for us to finally make a decision to go against ego and say, fuck it. I am tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of feeling disappointed in myself for not taking action because I'm afraid. And that's when we have the strength to stop running and turn around and face this thing that is so terrifying. So terrifying because it feels like it's gonna destroy us. It feels like it's going to consume us. But we're sick of running. We're disappointed in ourselves. We're not living authentically according to our soul's calling. So we finally turn the fuck around and just say, bring it. I'm here. I'm sick of this. I am tired of fleeing. I am not, if I'm gonna die, if I'm gonna be destroyed by this thing, if this pain, this whatever is gonna be so overwhelming as to end me, I'm going to face it head on. I'm going to make the choice to stare it in the eye and say, okay, do your worst. Do what you're gonna do to me. And then at least I am free. I am liberated. I'm not a slave to fear, to ego, to the mind. I made the choice. Yeah. That's what it's pushing to for everybody. This resistance is thin because there's so much pressure. 10s and 9s, both the end. 9s are the end. 10s are the dead end. We were running from this and we hit a wall. We hit a wall and then there's nowhere else to run. And then it is cower in the corner facing the wall and pretending it's not happening to you. But that doesn't feel good. That doesn't inspire us. That doesn't fill us with a satisfaction in self. So it's time to turn and face it. That is the message. That's all I got. That is literally all I got. I'm still exhausted. But I'm feeling this, and this wanted to come out. So I am pleased with myself for not denying it, for embracing it. I am pleased with myself for my willingness and capacity to feel intense emotion of every degree, because that is true liberation. That is true freedom. That's empowerment. The discovery that in the allowance of feeling everything, you can feel pleased with it. You can feel at peace. You can feel satisfied with yourself. Sitting there sobbing, feeling the deepest, most bottomless pit of grief that you have ever experienced. And loving yourself even more for being willing to feel that. Witnessing your own strength, your own resilience. Appreciating that you are here to experience and that you're choosing to participate in the experience. And then you're not overwhelmed by it. You discover how much more you actually are, how much bigger you are. You discover that you're not mind, you're not ego, but you are that which contains these things. And by allowing them to flow through you with great force, you expand. You get bigger. And there is immense satisfaction and empowerment in that. This is the message. It does resonate with me, and I intend that it resonates with you, my beautiful viewer. I hope you can hear. But one way or another, face what is. Face it head on. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be unafraid. It's not about changing the emotions. It's about accepting them. It is only ever about acceptance. And then when you have fully accepted what is, you feel the liberation from it. Nothing has changed. It is now free to flow in the best possible, easiest fashion. But really, what shifted is you. You have shifted in the current. You're no longer resisting the stream of energy as it is flowing around you. And because of that, even with pain, you're not experiencing suffering. You discover your ability to experience both joy and sorrow simultaneously, both peace and non-peace simultaneously. That is your true power. Masculine energy is being taught this lesson one way or another. That's the reading. I intend that it resonates. I'd love to know. If so, how? Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you feel so inclined. But trust yourself, honor yourself, love yourself, and never let fear rule your decision making. It will never feel good to follow fear. Have a beautiful evening. Take it easy. And know that always and always, in every vector of time and space, you're amazing. You can do this. Everything will be okay. And I love you.